Hello world, my name is Brandon with EPMA, and today I wanted to do a quick walkthrough with you all of Microsoft Project 2013. So let's jump right into things. See how this puppy works. We're going to click on Microsoft Project, and when we first open Project, it's going to give us this little dialog box. We're connected to Project Server. We're working across various enterprise projects. This is going to allow us to choose which server we want to be tapping into for that. We're just creating a basic project here, so I'm just going to leave it as computer. And then we will go to the back stage. Here we're just going to click Bank Project. And we are now presented with our Gantt view and our entry table. Before we start building our project plan, I want to go over a few things regarding scheduling and time and hours and days and all that good stuff. So the first thing I want to show is in the File Options. Under the Schedule tab, you have all these other tabs, which I encourage you to do some exploring, see what's behind the doors. So let's go to Schedule. Here we can choose the day we want our week to start on, whether it be a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We can choose the month that our fiscal year starts in. We can also make changes to the time of day that we start and the time of day we finish. So we work a normal 8 to 5 here, so I just leave mine 8 to 5. You can, as you see, you have a 30-minute increments all throughout the day. And below that, we're also going to have our hours per day, hours per week, and days per month. And these are just some data points that the Microsoft Project engine, the scheduling engine, is going to be capturing and using to come out with some data for us. So I don't really need to change anything here. I'm just going to click OK. Next thing I want to do is take a look at the working time. Now this is going to be the actual calendar that your schedule is being based on. So let's just go ahead, and you see we have a standard project calendar. It gives you some various stock calendars. You have 24-hour calendars, night shift calendars with different times. We're going to just create a new calendar. We're going to call this our construction calendar because we're going to be doing a little construction project here. We're just going to make a copy of our standard calendar. And in the coming weeks, I know we have Memorial Day coming up. And since we will be spending that time with our friends and family, most likely, we're going to just go ahead and enter Memorial Day as a holiday. And that falls on the 25th. And so now the system is going to know that on the 25th of May, even though it's a Monday, we're not going to be working that day. We're going to be taking off. So we're just going to click OK. Now, here is our project information page. This is going to show your start date, finish date, your current date. It's going to show you some good stuff, especially once we start building this out. It also gives you a cool little statistics tab, which is going to give you some good information regarding your baseline, the work duration, work remaining, and such. This is a good quick overview to show to maybe your high-level shareholders. So let's go back to project information. We're not going to start today because it's Friday, and we're just going to go ahead and start. We're going to need some time, gather our materials. We're going to start on the 11th. That's when our project is actually going to start, okay? Now, next thing I would like to do is show the project summary task. This is going to be your project headline, if you will. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to call this construction project. Okay. Now we're going to start building out our tasks. Now I'm just going to keep this simple. I'm just going to call them task and then a number. So task 1, task 2, task 3. Now if you notice, we have little thumbtacks with question marks. This is showing that these are manually scheduled tasks. I didn't change this before we started. I wanted to be able to show you this. And so this is not really what we want. We prefer automatic scheduling because then it really lets us tap into the Microsoft Project scheduling engine. So I'm going to go ahead and change these to auto schedule. And then down here, I'm going to click new task for them all to be automatically scheduled. This way I don't have to do this every time. So now we can just continue. So we got task 4, task 5, task 6, task 7, task task 8, and task 9. Hopefully, by the time we're done with our 9th task, we will be ready for a ribbon cutting. And this is a milestone. That's what we're working towards. So to show a milestone, we want to put 0 days. That's how the system is going to know that this is a milestone. It's going to give us this cool little gray diamond and show us the date and show that that is a milestone. And this, while we're over here, this is the Gantt chart. This is going to be a visual representation of your project. It's going to be basically kind of a timeline that's going to show various tasks. Once we start adding resources, it'll show the resources attached to that task. It's a really cool way to get a visual representation of your project. So we're going to want to group these tasks together just for the sake of organization, just for the sake of being able to look at this a little bit easier. And so we're going to do that by going to Task. You see this summary right here? If we click on the task, we drag our cursor down, and we hit Summary, it puts tasks 1 through 3 under what we will call, this will open our summary task information if you double click. We're going to call this our planning phase. Alrighty. Task 4, 5, and 6. These are going to be under the design phase. Tasks 7, 8, and 9. They are going to be the building phase, which is going to be a little bit longer. So we're going to calculate that as well. Now we have these 1-day question marks that we don't want that. We want this to look a little bit better. We want to have some real dates in here. When you do automatically schedule, it's going to automatically default to a 1 day and a question mark because it just wants to get some data in there, but it wants you to know that it's not sure. It wants you to go in there and make the corrections. So we're going to say task 1, that's going to take 2 days. Task 2 is 1 day. Task 3 is 2 days. Task 4, we're going to say that's 3 days. Task 5, that's 4 days. Task 6, that's 2 days. Build phase, like we said, it's going to be a little bit longer. So it's going to be 15 days, 10 days, and 12 days. Alrighty. So now that we have all of our tasks created, we are now ready to link these tasks. Now to link tasks, there's a couple different ways you can go about doing it. One is a manual way. And to do that, we just hover over the task, we click on it, and we draw a line, just straight down. And that links that. Draw a line, that links that. Now, there's another way you can do this. Microsoft Project gives you lots of ways to do lots of different things. So we're going to group these 3 tasks together by just clicking right here on the link button. Now, if you see, you can hit Control F2 as well, and that will link them. So that's how we're actually going to link tasks 7, 8, and 9. It's Control F2. Now that really pushes us out far. See, it's a little bit harder to see. You can go here to your zoom box. You can zoom out a little bit. You can zoom in. Just wanted to show you this ability to kind of gauge the zoom for you. Alrighty, so now that we have those, we also want to connect tasks 3 and 4, so we can do it like that. And we want to connect tasks 6 to 7, 8, and 9. And then we want to, of course, connect all these tasks to our ribbon cutting. That's where all this is going to take us to, is our ribbon cutting, which is now being pushed out to 7/20, if you see. This is going to be a total of 51 days. We have 5 days for planning, 9 days for designing, 37 days for building. We're not building anything crazy. We're putting up a little building for ourselves. Alrighty. So now that we have our tasks all created, the next thing we're going to do is start creating our resource pool to draw resources from and assign to the various tasks that we've created. To do this, we're going to go into the View tab and click on Resource Sheet in the Resource Views section. And we are going to name some of our resources. On this project, we have Ron, we have Tom, we have Rick, we have Randy, we have Ashley, we have Becky. And we are working with concrete as our material. So you see there's type. We're going to switch this to material. Now cost is just a cost associated that is a resource. So we don't have any of those on this. We're just going to go material. We're purchasing this concrete in cubic feet. and we're paying $25 per cubic foot. Now we will assign our hourly rates to our various resources. So Ron is $75 an hour, Tom $125 an hour, Rick $150, Randy $125, Ashley $150, and Becky is $125. Okay, so now we have our resource pool that we can start drawing from in order to assign to the various tasks. So let's go ahead and go back to the Gantt chart view, and we're going to start assigning these resources. Now there are a few different ways to assign resources, but I'm going to go over the one that I typically use. So we're going to right click on the task and click Assign Resources. It's going to show all the various resources you have, and we are going to choose for task 1, Ashley. It's going to automatically default to 100%, so she is dedicating 100% of her time since we did not specify. Now task 2, we will specify. Becky will be on this, and she's going to work 50%. Randy's also going to be on this. He's going to work 50%. So we'll assign those. Now we get this little error exclamation point box right next to the task. We're going to look at that in just a second. So task 3, we're going to have Randy on as well. Notice we have these little red stick figures now appearing. Those are actually going to be an over allocation of resources. Let's continue to assign. We'll worry about these in a second. So we'll have Rick and Ron on task 4. Task 5 will be just Ron. Notice we're getting more over allocations. That's okay. We're going to take care of that in just a second. Tom is on task 6. Now task 7 is our build phase. So we're going to be using some of our concrete. And we're going to be using about 10 cubic feet of concrete during this phase. So we're going to have the concrete, and we're going to have Rick. Task 8, we are going to have Ron and the concrete. And see, since we didn't specify for the material, it's just going to default to 1 unit. And task 9, we are going to have Randy and Rick. I'm going to assign that, and we can close out of this. Okay, so now we have the issue with the over allocation of resources. Now, if you notice, none of these tasks are linked to each other. Now, when we link, that's actually going to reduce some of these red man. Hopefully, it'll reduce all of them. It should. What we're going to do is start linking them so that we know task 2 will follow task 1, task 3 thereafter, and so on and so on. Now, to mark the end of each phase, typically we want to show a milestone. And as I stated before, and as I showed before, milestone is designated through a 0-day duration. So we're going to go ahead and click right here on 5, and we're going to click Insert. And that's going to insert a task directly above. And we'll say that this is Planning Phase Complete. And we'll say 0 days, so that we have this milestone. We will click on row 10, Insert, and we'll say Design Phase Complete. Go ahead and go over, and we'll say that's 0 days. So see, we're starting to have milestones throughout our project. Now for this, the ribbon cutting, we're going to have one more milestone right before that, just to say that the building phase is complete. We might have some more things we have to do before the actual ribbon cutting. So we'll just say building phase complete and 0 days. So now let's start linking these. Now there are a few different ways to link. I can show you all of them. So the first way is going to be a manual link, and that's just going to require you to hover your mouse directly over the task box, and we're going to draw a line just straight down. Just click and draw. Click and draw. Click and draw. Okay. So that connects those together, and we would like this milestone to actually be connected to here, so we know that once the planning phase is complete, we can start with the next piece of the work. Now I'm going to show you some other ways to do the linking. So we're going to have task 4 and task 5. If we click on task, you see this little right here, this button? This is linking the selected task, and actually the third way I'm going to show you, it tells you right here. It's a shortcut using Control F2. So we're going to link these, and we can do manual one more time. I kind of like manual. It gives you a little bit extra to do while you're doing it. It's fun. So now that we have the design phase complete, we're going to link this. We're going to say this is linked to task 7. So Control F2. They are now linked. And we can do it like this. And see how it's kind of hard to see? We're going to click on View. And if we select Entire Project, then we can see our entire project. This way we're not scrolling back and forth. So we'll connect these. And see the entire project. Click that one more time. And we'll connect these. Now notice, while we were doing that, all of our overallocation of resources, they're gone. It's because we had them all lined up to start on the same day. Now we don't have to worry about that. Oops, sorry about that. So now that we have our resources assigned, our tasks created, our milestones created, I think this is a good point that we could baseline the project. So what we'll do here is click on the entire project. We will click on the project tab and we will set the baseline. Now this is going to give you the ability to track your project as time progresses. You'll be able to do variances and different things once you have it baseline so that you can see how your project is lining up with the original plan. So we're going to go ahead and select entire project and we're going to click OK. And there you have it. That is a quick overview of Microsoft Project. And we are going to be doing some videos coming up that is going to go a little bit deeper, show you some different things as far as variances that you can do, really tapping into the power of Microsoft Project 2013. But that is all for today. Hope you learned a little bit. Feel free to comment and have a wonderful day.